Hello everybody, welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. to European time on the dollar. We do this show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins and everything else. And yes, guys, it is time to accumulate, give or take. As always, I really need better intro than the 9 a.m. Monday to Friday kind of stuff. It's not actually working for me. Been looking at a lot of charts. Been waiting, for Bitcoin to do something. I don't believe that we are gonna go down, so there is that. I do know that a lot of people do believe that we're gonna go down, and that might be the case, but I'm a little bit, keeping the bullishness in the air, because there is only so much time left until the Bitcoin halving. Gotta tell you guys, for every day that goes by, I get more and more anxious because I did not buy enough. Because once it starts going, it's gonna go fast. It's gonna go fast. I always say the price goes up always faster than it goes down. And when it starts going, it's too late. You gotta FOMO in, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I mean, if you dump, it's very nice because you dumped, you can buy, dollar cost average lower, you can get cheaper, it's all good and dandy, right? I mean, for everybody right now, I think everybody that's accumulating is just hoping for a dump. I know I am. I'm hoping, please just dump. God damn it, just dump a little bit, so I can buy the more dips, But I already started accumulating a little bit, and I really don't care anymore. Now, not only that, yesterday I saw a new video from Fri CET, of course, and of course every time he posts a big fat arrow right down to 10k, I become bullish. So as you can see here, he is looking at the same thing a lot of other people are looking at, previous, pivot top up here that we talked about that might actually come and then move towards downside. So right now he's of course thinking that, it's gonna do the same thing again. It's very simple analysis. It can actually happen. Not saying that it's gonna happen, and I think it's very, very unlikely that this is gonna be the case. These two charts are very, very different. This is a parabolic move towards the upside. This is a double top. This over here is just a parabolic move towards upside again, and then big crash towards downside. This is actually slow move up here, and then big explosive move outside of the accumulation zone and the FOMO top up here. So it's moving down a little bit, but they are very different charts when you go really deep into them. And this arrow right down to 10k, not thinking it's gonna happen. That said, when Fri CET is bearish, I become very, very bullish. So that's actually very nice, and I like that. I like that people are bearish, because when people are bearish, that means that they are wrong. A lot of people are wrong. Are wrong. So as you can see up here, where we're gonna start a little bit Bitcoin. I thought we might actually look at a little bit on what's happening with DXY. A long time since we checked the DXY as well, and see what's happening with the stock market as well. Monero dumped yesterday like 37%. It's up 16% today, but it dumped big time over here. From the very top to the bottom up here, this on 2-week time frame, it's 40% down. That's over here. But if you take from over here to down there, it dumped 40% right now. It's pulling up a little bit. It got delisted from Binance. Now, when it comes to these privacy coins, I'm not really bullish on them. I can tell you why, but we're gonna talk a little bit about Monero as well, and we're also gonna talk about, because I'm big on ApeCoin, right? I'm big on ApeCoin, but the metaverse coins have the same kind of chart. If you look at ApeCoin over here, right, and then you look at on bigger time frames up here, right? I mean, it's so low down. But if you look at other like NG coin down here, they Mana up here, Sand up here, they all have the same type of chart. They did not pump a lot on this move towards the upside over here. This is Sand. It pumped like 144%, and if you look at other coins, they are like 200-300% towards upside. So they did have some kind of pump, but they are still not out of this accumulation zone on the downside. So Sand, Mana, ApeCoin, Engine Coin, all of these coins have the same kind of chart. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that as well. But first thing first, we're gonna start with Bitcoin and talk a little bit about Bitcoin. I'm also gonna show you long-term charts over here. I actually already drew it, so you can see it. This is Bitcoin. Big time frames up here, and let's go to logarithmic chart, because you can see it better on logarithmic chart over here. So I was a little bit thinking up here, if you look at the Was it the, no, it was the stochastic up here. Let me add stochastic to the chart. Stochastic up here on the chart. Let me remove these other ones up here for a second. There we go. So you see these two lines up here. Let's go to bigger time frames up here. 2 weekly time frames so you can see it nicer. So you see this dump over here. You can see the stochastic on the downside, how it's actually played out. So after the very bottom down here, when it started going towards the upside, it did this, you know, zigzag pattern up here towards the upside, and it did this big V-shape pattern over here. And right now it's doing this, you know, move down. But you can see up here again, this actually happened. Can you see it over here? Yeah, this actually happened before, right? It was a little bit different. This was an impulsive move towards the upside, but this is, you know, slowly went towards the upper, right? And then it did this V shape over here, and once the V shape is done, it just continued, you know, climbing towards the upside up here. It continued doing this zigzag pattern up here, right? Zigzag pattern up here. Although these blues levels came all the way down to 50 levels, right now we are still not to the 50 levels, and that's why I'm saying, like, we can still go a little bit more down, and everybody's hoping that that's gonna be the case, but it doesn't have to be the case. You can just do something like this up here all the way towards the stop, right? On the other hand, if this is the 2014 move, the parabolic move towards the upside up here, it's right now being, you know, created up here. The time frame up here from this parabolic move towards the top, and right now from wherever we are towards the top is, if you look down here, it is 25th March. Sorry, 17 March, but 2025. So the time frame does, you know, correspond very, very nicely. We've been saying that, you know, bull market top should come sometimes, you know, early 2025. At least I've been saying that for a while, that, you know, and right now it does seem that, you know, if you look at like this over here, you know, this parabolic move that's already started happening towards the upside with this, you know, V-shape recovery up here towards the upside. This last part up here, you know, 2025 seems to be the target. Now, I don't think, you know, necessarily 100% is gonna be 2025 or even late 2024, but, you know, when we get there, we pretty much gonna know. But from everything we've seen so far, and from all of the analysis we've done on coins before, we do know that, you know, 2025, or we do believe that 2025 should be where the market tops out. Bitcoin is up from red into the green, 0.06% right now, so we're gonna see how that plays out. But I thought this was very, very interesting, at least when it comes to stochastic. I don't look at stochastic that often, so this V-shape, you know, V-shape move that just happened, I did notice that, and I thought this was actually very, very interesting to see. So it does look very, very nice. Also, guys, again, the halvenings, guys, halvenings. I'm gonna put this in your brain so you remember this forever. Halvenings are coming very, very close, and the thing that people believe is that before the halvening we have to have a big dump on the downside. Over here, before the halvening, big dump towards the downside, right? Over here we had a slight dump up here. I don't know if you can see that, but there was a slight dump over here just before the halvening, but kind of just went kind of sideways. I do not believe that we have to have that, you know, dump right now over here, because that was the theory all the way up to 46k levels, and then, you know, move either zigzag towards the downside over here or zigzag towards the upside up here. But I believe right now it's just gonna slowly consolidate and continue towards the upside. I don't believe actually in a lot of more dumps left. I'm just way too bullish for that. I'm not crypto savior, Capo, or anybody else. Even though I would like that we have some nice, you know, some nice dips, like I said, because I want to accumulate, I want to buy more cheap, very, very cheap, as cheap as I can. I do believe that we are getting ready for a very big move. Another thing again is that again, the halvings is coming right now around, I thought it was 17 April, but right now I think it's moved over to, let's see if you can check that out. Bitcoin halvening clock. Let's see up here. It's in 17 days, 11 minutes. April 17. It says April 17. I thought I read somewhere it was April 9th, but still April 17. It's 70 days left to the halvening right now, and it goes very, very fast. I don't think you guys understand how fast this is actually going, because you know, everybody's waiting, but it's gonna go very, very fast, and by the time the halving happens, it's just up. I mean, every single time, and we have no reason for not every single time, but it looks like very often, beside this move over here towards downside, after a halving, it is pretty much just up. But even up here, when you look at Bitcoin up here, it just like over here, just consolidation before the halving, and then move towards the upside. It is very, very close. It's gonna happen very, very soon. And I'm keeping the bullishness. I'm definitely keeping the bullishness. Let's go and look at what's happening actually on the small time frames up here on the charts, and how the theory is still playing out. The blue box up here and blue box up here, those are major resistance level. The channels are major resistance levels, and there was another thing that I was actually thinking about, because the theory is still that this is gonna go to something like 90k up here, and then that's the bull market top, right? On the other hand, this can actually go even higher, and that's then we come to this doubling patterns on the charts, right? So it goes from comes over here, goes to doubling up here towards top side, and then doubles again up here to 130k or whatever that is, right? So it does not have to be 90k, it could be 130k, or even the midline up here at 109k. Any of these levels are gonna be very, very interesting to watch once we get to those levels. But I think around 90k it should be very, very obvious that we are in some kind of very euphoric moment, because as soon as we start breaking these 67 levels, 69 levels up here at top side up here, as soon as this starts breaking towards upside, this is an old suckers game, right? We said over here on the bottom, when we are starting going towards upside, and we slowly start climbing up here towards upside, and we said this move up here, this is a suckers move once we start going towards upside, because it goes very fast, and it's it's kind of FOMO move, right? And you've seen that on altcoins, right? As soon as we start going up here, like everybody FOMO'd in, we are going up to then 100k, all-time high before the year end, and so forth, right? But it is a sucker's move, right? Because you want to be in the price before this last move, right? So once we start breaking this 69k, this over here again is the sucker's move, is the liquidity liquidity area for selling, but whether that's over here in this box up here, whether it's this box up here or this box up here, it kind of depends. But so as soon as it starts going up here, it's gonna go very, very fast, and then it's only a question how high can it actually go. I'm gonna show you another chart that I posted in Telegram yesterday or day before that. Over here, where was it? I thought it was interesting. I didn't post this on Twitter. On Twitter, I post stuff that I think are interesting. So this isn't, of course, any kind of deep analysis or anything like that. It's just my ideas. How our price goes. We all like to do this kind of stuff. We open the chart, we look at the prices. We people are very analytical by nature, so we like to look at 10x, 20x, how much up. We try to find some kind of pattern or something. So I thought this was very, very interesting. From the very bottom up here in 2012 all the way towards the top, it went like 600x on that move towards the upside. Now if you divide 600x divide by 6, give or take 600x is 584%, but give or take, maybe on the small time frames is actually entirely 600%. But if you take 600 divided by 6, you get 100x, and from the very bottom to the very top it went 120x, not 100x, but who's counting? 100x towards the upside. Now 100x divided by 5, that's 20x. From the very bottom to very top, it went to exactly 21x towards upside, 20x. Now if you divide that by 4, so we divide by 6, by 5, by 4, and right now if you take 20 divided by 4, you get 5x. That's around, from the bottom towards top should be around 95k, give or take, because of the lines, but over here it says 79k, but give or take between 80k and 95k, in the ballpark area, that's the target, and after that it's gonna be 5x divided by 3, so only something like 1.6 or something like that. I thought it was interesting. It does not have to be this way, and as you can see up here, the chart is actually the volatility on Bitcoin is slowing down. It's kind of curving towards the right, and it's going it's getting less volatile every single year, which is actually very, very good. I've seen theories, because my theory is that it is a mathematical model, and nothing right now tells us that for whatever reason this Bitcoin chart is not gonna, you know, continue like this right now, and you know, become this in, you know, 2000 and 2100, you know, it's gonna flat out here at the end. That's my theory. That's how the model is made. But I've seen ideas from other people saying that Bitcoin chart is not a right curving chart. It's actually an S model chart that goes something like this over here, right? So they believe that, you know, this first early adopter phase comes up here, then you come into a awareness phase up here, and then the last phase up here is you know, adoption phase, when everybody adopts, and you know, it just goes through the roof. Now, will we get this last phase up here on Bitcoin? That kind of depends. And but right now we are just curving up here on the side, right? And we have to see if at one point this actually starts curving towards upside over here. But you know, we haven't come that, and right now nothing on the chart is telling us that this is, for whatever reason, S-curve pattern or anything like that. We can go to monthly time frame over here. We can go to logarithmic chart over here, and you know, for a logarithmic chart to start curving like this over here towards upside, it's gonna take something very, very you know, very what are you gonna say? It's gonna take something very strong for a logarithmic chart to start curving towards upside. But you can definitely start, you know, doing this. I mean, this is still, you know, 500,000 up here, you know, 1 million is all over here. It can still continue like this up here, and you know, still, you know, curve around 1 million or something like that, right? But we have noticed that, you know, the pumps are less and less all the way through, right? So it is curving, you know, the volatility is slowing kind of down. We'll see. It's interesting to look at, but that's it. It's interesting to look at, but that's it. So let's go back to the our chart up here, and what we see here on the chart. This is the monthly time frame. We got this doji up here, and right now we have in this green candle. Now we are still very early in the February, only 1 week in. So you know, it's hard to say anything, you know, that's special. Anything special happened up here on the February, but we can look at, and I haven't looked at this, so let me just look at it and see, are we overextended or anything like that. Once we start pumping up here, we can, I mean, these overextensions, once we start pumping, these overextensions don't actually go down below 13%. Over here we actually went down all the way down to 2%, something like that, and then we right now a little bit extended. But once, you know, once we start coming into this last part, let me go to another chart over here, and let me do it like this up here, because it's easier to see on a logarithmic chart when you look at a big time frames over here. You'll see right now that this, my own indicator, is overextension. It just tells me whether we are overextended or not, and right now it does not look like we are overextended on the monthly time frame over here. You can see up here, this move up here came all the way up here before they actually pulled back. This one came all the way up there before pull. So these you know, 50-60% overextension from 10 moving average on the monthly time frame. You can say that these are the the big overextension. Now, as you can see, we are not overextended on the big time frame, so you cannot say that we are in any kind of bull market top. You can see up here as well, this top over here, this top over here, this top over here, all of these three tops over here came into this overextended levels. But right now you'll see that we are not even close to that. Not only that, we are a little bit pulling towards downside. So not yet bull market top. That is good. That is good. That's same goes for these, you know, tops up here that overshoot. But this was very, very early, so the volatility was insane back down here. But you can see as soon as we actually break these levels over here, especially this move towards upside up here, we have been keeping that level and going towards upside. Over here we are. That's where we are right now, give or take up here. You can see up here. You can see up here that these are just overextensions. So entire move towards upside, it was keeping it, and then it broke it up here, and then it went, you know, all the way towards the top up here. So we are in that range right now, even lower than that range. We are in that range right now, even though we had a pullback down here on this pullback towards downside. But you know, are we gonna have another pullback down to 10 moving average? I don't think so. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. I don't think we're gonna have a pullback back down to 10 moving average again. And I don't think we're gonna have a pullback back down to, you know, 10 moving average over here again and then go towards the upside. That's all I'm saying. The 10 moving average right now is at 34. We can have that. I'm saying I'm not a big believer in that, right? I think right now this is consolidating over here, and you know, it's gonna go sideways a little bit, wait for the moving averages up here, and then just go towards the upside, the last part, right? Because up here, November, January, up here, I mean, this can go very fast towards the upside. But we are not in bull market top, so that's good and dandy, and it looks nice. We are not overextended. And I think, and however I twist and turn on the charts, it always looks nice. It always looks nice. Over here, beside the doji up here, you can understand that this doji actually, that a lot of people right now is thinking that, oh my god, that's a doji, you know, it's bearish signal and we're gonna drop down. No, you don't understand. The doji only means indecision. It does not mean that you're gonna drop down. Now, if you are overextended with a doji on top in some kind of bear market, the probability goes up that you're gonna drop down, right? Now, we are not overextended, a little bit overextended. Not that overextended. We are definitely not in the bear market. We are just before the mega bull market ending top that's about to come. So seeing the doji, it's just indecision, guys. People are a little bit unsure whether we're gonna pull back, whether we're gonna sell, what's gonna happen. So that means indecision. Doji means indecision, but we like dojis. We like when the price goes big time towards downside, and then you get a doji on the bottom, right? Overextensions in some kind of bull market. This means it's gonna pump, right? On the same way, if the price goes very steeply towards upside, you get some kind of doji at the top, right? And then you have maybe some kind of bigger bear market trend. You got a doji, you got a big overextensions from the moving averages. This is like legit drop incoming very soon, right? So we do like the dojis, and dojis can actually tell you a little bit about the market. But right now, this to me actually just means indecision over here. It's just kind of waiting, and you know, it can wait a different kind of ways. Zigzag up here and then continue towards the upside. And that brings us to another thing that we've been talking about. Robert Demeter, morning, I did a lot of shopping, let's pump it. Nice. Beauty, what's up, man, how you doing? So, my theory was over here that there are two ways that this part can actually play out. Now, when we hit this pivot point, we went towards downside, right? So it is very understandable that people think that we might actually do this move towards downside and then again go towards upside. Now, I do not believe that strongly this move towards downside, and the reason being we are very close to the blue line. That's the halving that's about to happen in April, right? We are very close to the blue line, so you know, going down up here and then going towards upside, it just doesn't make a little bit sense to me on some kind of theoretical level, right? Over here, the halving was all the way up here, so we had a whole bunch of time to pull the price down, right? But right now we are kind of over here, and we need to pull the price down, right? So if this pivot point came over here, I would say definitely this is gonna go in a same way that it did before. But we didn't top out here. We topped out just before the halving, just into up here. So the way I see it up here, especially because these channels that we are looking on the chart goes something like this up here towards the upside. They're going towards the upside, right? These are channel lines, and since this channel line, especially this very important channel line, is going steeply towards the upside, my theory is right now, and it's been for a while, that one of the two ways, this way towards the upside, right? But I think that we are going to go. Let's go to the weekly time frame up here because it's easier to see up here. My theory is that this is just going to trend like this up here towards the upside, right? It's going to zigzag up here and then break eventually both the blue box resistance level and break the channel towards the upside and just continue pumping towards the upside. So that's what I'm looking for. And over here, this bearish pattern that's being created on the weekly time frame. This is actually a bearish pattern because you extend over here, consolidate, you pump, you go down to the moving average, you zigzag, and then you drop down. This is very normal in any kind of bearish market, right? But I've seen this thing where it doesn't drop down. It should drop down. It should drop down, but it doesn't drop down. And it kind of just over here at one point, it just goes above the resistance level up here and just bye-bye. It just kind of holds the support level and just kind of continues towards the upside. That's one of the scenarios that I'm looking at that actually might happen because it's not dropping. I mean, the price is actually very stable, to tell the truth. This have dropped a long time before. If you look at even the small time frames up here, We dropped below the support. We are still below this line level, but this part over here is not dropping. It's not dropping. It had a chance to drop 2 times, both over here, and it's not dropping. And every single time it's not dropping, that's actually a bullish sign. Now, we do not have a higher high, so this over here is a high, this is a lower high, this is a lower high, so we've been going a lower high, and this over here is actually a higher low as well, so it's got some kind of triangle over here, but we still haven't broken towards the downside. Not only that, yesterday's actually candle up here managed to get above the moving averages up here towards the upside, so it does look nice. I mean, I think that there is a very good probability that this range up here might actually break towards the upside, and very soon you might actually see you know, 45 levels, or even 47k levels, all the way up here to 48k levels again, because if this actually breaks towards upside, it is very easy to hit 45.5 or 47k levels towards upside. What, you gotta ask yourself, Dan, what is this gonna do to altcoins? What is that gonna do to altcoins? It is very easy to see. Now I should be more bearish and say this because this over here, you know, it's hitting some kind of resistance level up here, cannot break that, break towards downside, and then drops again towards downside. Then you got some kind of double bottom down here, and then again it might actually try to go towards upside. If it fails that, it might break towards downside, then you see, you know, these 33, 34, 35k levels on the downside. But again, I'm not looking at 34, 35, 36k levels. I'm not even looking at this, you know, 39, 38k level down here. I'm just looking actually at this, when is this actually gonna break towards upside and get into the blue box again. That's all I'm actually looking at, because the price is actually, you know, insanely stable, considering everything, right? Because in any kind of other way, when you have this kind of move towards upside, you know, you will get some kind of top breakdown, and you will go down. But the price is not doing that. I'm not saying it won't do that, but I'm just saying a little bit more bullish than bearish right now, because the price is so stable, and since the price is not actually dumping towards the downside. So the fact that we are not dumping down and the price is stable and it's holding very nicely, I think it is actually, might actually be very variable. A lot of people are still underestimating the bullishness of the bull market. They do not understand that the price will invalidate bearish patterns. They do not understand that the price in bullish markets just does not care. It doesn't drop down. You don't get to buy the dips. You had the 20% dips all the way through. I mean, there has been dips, guys. There has been dips. Every single dip. Where is it? Up here. Let's do this one. It's okay. Let's do dips. Let's just like that. There has been dips, guys. There has been dips. I mean, the dip started up here. This is a 27% dip. You know, 22% dip. I mean, there has been dips, 20% dips all the way through, 21% dip, and right now we also had a 20% move down, 20% dip. So it's been dipping 20% every single time. And you know, right now, why should we go? You gotta think a little bit like this. Why should we go below? What's that? What's that? Why should we go below 38.5 level? Why should we do that? Now, it was very understandable to go below 38.5 because there was liquidity there, right? The liquidity got picked up below these levels up here. Once we came up here, we did a zigzag, you know, create a liquidity on the downside. We picked up the liquidity. Right now, price is going towards the upside again. But there is no reason, there is literally no reason for us to go down and pick up even more liquidity, because right now, to pick up more liquidity, I think the price needs to go all the way back below 34k. Believe it or not, I think price has to go back below 34k. I mean, juicy dips, 34k. Oh my god. I mean, who is not gonna buy the 34k juicy dip? Who is not gonna buy that dip? Tell me one person just before the halving who is not gonna buy the juicy dip before below the 34k. I would buy the juicy dip. You know what I'm saying? So it is just before the halving. Price already did the move into the liquidity zone, picked up liquidity. It looks very strong now. It's not over yet. I mean, this is, you know, pennant up here. You know, it's a pulsar move with a triangle up here at the top. Some kind of triangle up here at the top. It's gonna break sooner or later. Up here, if it breaks towards upside, we might see a big move. If it breaks down, I'm thinking, you know, might do a spring towards upside. Maybe again a move all the way down here. But here, you know, I'm a little bit, you know, on the side when it comes to that. Depends what price is gonna be. But I don't see us going back below 38.5. I don't see any reason to do that. I don't see any reason to do that. So to me, the price actually looks very, very nice. And it does look very, very bullish. I'm getting more bullish by the day, guys. I don't think you understand how bullish I am. I'm so bullish. I watch, you know, Crypto Savvy and I cry. Now, I don't cry because of crypto. I cry because everybody else that watches Crypto Savvy, you know, I cry. So this actually looks very, very good. You know, this part up here, it can be a little bit, you know, zigzaggy. It can go down, it can go up. I'm more, you know, right now towards upside and downside. If it goes down, juicy dip. If it goes more down, juicy dip. If it goes down, you know, generational dip. I mean, the dips are by, you know, by the dip opportunity. Right now, just before the halving, just before the biggest pump ever, just before the FOMO of the retail comes in, it is the buy the dip, you know, place to be. Not financial advice. You do your money, I do my money, but you know what I'm saying, right? It is the buy the dip events. It is the buy the dip events. I don't know why we should go down. I don't know why we should go down. So this looks very good. ETH BTC. I've been looking at ETH BTC chart up here, and it is coming back to this this line up here. Let me go to the weekly time frame because we've been watching this on the weekly time frame. And no, this one, let me remove this other one. There we go. It looks something like this, right? You get a falling wedge, broke this falling wedge towards the downside, came into the box, spring right back to the resistance, failed to break the resistance right outside of that that box again. Sorry, right outside that falling wedge again. Right now, retesting that wedge up here, trying to break towards upside up here again. It's still, you know, zigzag pattern. So I am a little bit again unsure how this is gonna play out. Eventually, I do know that Ethereum gotta go towards the upside. Eventually, I do know that Ethereum at one point will outperform Bitcoin. At one point, I don't know what point that's gonna be, but at one point it will outplay Bitcoin. Right now, it doesn't seem that way just yet. It kind of doesn't want to break again towards the downside over here. It wants to keep the support up here. But if it starts breaking back inside the channel, I would say it's already, you know, halfway there. Because, sorry, not channel, but this falling wedge. If it starts breaking back inside this falling wedge, I would say it's already, you know, it's getting very, very close to that move right out up here. Because I think once it's out of this wedge towards the upside up here, it's pretty much over. I think, you know, Ethereum is gonna pump, and that's that. Hope not people follow me this year. Yeah, that guy's getting a lot of people wrecked. I mean, who do you like for following? Do you like following me, a guy who's been, you know, super bullish since 20K? You know, even the dip down to 15K, bullish, all the way through, bullish, bull market, bull bar, bull. Or do you like, you know, or do you wish you followed the crypto save that's been saying 10K since 15K? You know, just saying. I'm just putting it out there. There are good guys to follow and there are bad guys to follow on YouTube. So, you know, be smart, guys. That was that chart. The other chart that we're gonna look at, DXY chart. Let's look at the DXY, how the DXY is playing out. No, before we go into the DXY and the stock market, let's see what's happening with Monero, because I got some kind of thoughts about Monero that I want to share with you guys. So over here, Monero, of course, dumped down 40% on the day. Just gives more sense. Exactly. When the bear market comes, you're welcome to. You're welcome to follow Crypto Savvy though. So Monero dumped down 40%. Wait. So Monero dumped down 40% because it got delisted from Binance. Number one, Monero is not going anywhere. Zcash is not going anywhere. Privacy coins are not going anywhere. Why? It's crypto that you cannot just remove stuff from the world. That said, everything, even though I do love privacy and I do like the coins that, you know, give you privacy, I don't believe there is a very strong. There is a use case for these coins, but they are not so mainstream. So they are gonna be around, but I don't believe that they are gonna be these coins that are pumping like, you know, 1000x or stuff like that, right? And the reason for that is everything in blockchain is transparent, right? Bitcoin is transparent, Dogecoin is transparent, Ethereum is transparent. Anything you do is transparent. If you if you want any kind of privacy, you might do, you know, these privacy coins. You might go through some Tumblr to, you know, hide your tracks and stuff like that. To, make sure, you know, money goes from one wallet to another wallet and nobody knows whose wallets those are. And I mean, there is some kind of privacy there, right? But you gotta understand that there are ways to figure out who owns which wallet. And you know, for people that want privacy and want to do these kind of things, they have to go through a lot of hard work to make this work, right? Because who are you trying to hide the coins from? If you are using Monero and stuff like that, you probably don't want government to know your taxes and stuff like that, right? If you just want privacy from other people not knowing what you buy and sell, you're probably just using some kind of, you know, Binance or Qcoin or some kind of tax exchange. If you want really, you know, 100% privacy from everybody, you just, you know, buy physical gold with physical money and hide in your garden or something like that. I don't know. Right, so there is the different levels of privacy, but I just do not believe that there is so much use case, or not use case, but so much traction, or so much. Yeah, I don't believe there is so much demand for privacy coins. So I have never believed that, you know, these things are, you know, the next thing that's gonna go, you know, 1000x, stuff like that. I mean, they do pump a lot. I mean, from the bottom towards top up here, this did, you know, I mean, a lot. This is 16x, but you know, it did better than some other coins, right? But you know, it did 16x towards the top. I mean, that's okay for a privacy coin, but there is not a lot of hype. I mean, people just don't care. People just don't care, especially when they're using MetaMask and these other wallets, and everybody knows what kind of wallet you have. And right now you can have these name services from Ethereum and Cardano and Solana and others, right? You can have instead of having the, you know, wallet with a big a lot of letters, you can have your name.eth Cardano, Solana, whatever, right? And the privacy, it is very transparent. So it is more transparent than anything else around. And I'm not really big proponent of privacy coins. I do believe that I do know that there is a big, you know, need for them, and that they are definitely in a space where they need to be. I just don't believe, you know, it's the kind of thing that, you know, retail is gonna wanna, you know, buy. It's just not shiny enough for retail. That said, it dumped down, you know, 20% towards downside over here. It might be just very first move of this, you know, crackdown on privacy coins, but we all kind of knew that that's gonna happen once CZ was kicked out as a CEO from Binance, and they replaced him with some kind of puppet in Binance. Right now, you know, Binance is pretty much doing whatever governments wants them to do, right? If the government wants them to remove this coin or that coin, they're just gonna do that. They're just gonna do it. Right now, Binance is definitely 100% under, you know, the rule of governments and regulators, and they really don't like the privacy coins. Eventually, that might happen to stable coins as well, but I don't think that's gonna happen during this bull market. So, you know, that's all good and dandy so far. Today is up, you know, this is up 17%. It is volatile. It did break the trend on the downside over here. There was a big channel that's been... This coin has actually been performing very nicely. If you just look at the chart on Monero, it's just been steadily kind of going towards upside up here. I mean, it was beautiful until this FUD, you know, hit in. And right now, where did it drop down to? It dropped down to the, you know, $100. $100, right? It dropped down $100, exactly $100, and right now it's picking it up again. 96 bucks, $100. It dropped down to the bottom again, and right now it's picking up. Whether this is the bottom again, and it's from this point on, it's just, you know, right up there again. I don't know. But I'm not really big on privacy coins. I think everything is gonna perform in the bull market like it does, but it's kind of just not shiny enough for my taste. Just not shiny enough. And one other thing that I want to talk about, you know, again, I'm big on ApeCoin, but these charts have the same kind of, what is it? These charts have the same kind of pattern right now. You can see up here. Let's split this in 4. Can we split it in 4? 1, 2, 3. Let's split it in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and can we look at it in 4? Okay, over here we'll put ApeCoin. There we go. This is ApeCoin up here, and over here we'll put NGCoin. Where's NGCoin up here? NGCoin up here, and we're gonna do this on weekly time frame. All of these are gonna be on the weekly time frame, right? Can we get the same kind of? This actually goes a little bit so. And over here we're gonna put Mana up here, also on the weekly time frame. Let's just clean up everything. Mana over here, and over here we're gonna put Sand. I mean, these 4 coins are mostly in the same kind of category, like metaverse, gaming, Web3, whatever you wanna categorize them, because these category sectors overlap each other, but they are mostly in the same kind of space. They got NFTs, they got this, they got that, and all of these 3 coins. I looked at Mana, and this is Mana and Sand. They got like 800 to 900 million market cap. The engine coin is down at 200-300 market cap, and the ape coin is down at 500 million market cap. So the market caps are also below 1 billion, all of these 3. But what you're gonna notice is that all of these 3 has the same kind of kind of pattern. A little bit different over here, but they got these highs, lower high and lower high again. High, lower high, lower high, high, lower high, lower high, right? So they are still not out. Technically, they're still not out of the accumulation zone, right? They're technically still not out of the accumulation zone. Same over here, right? And over here you can see a very clear bottom on the downside. Very clear bottom on the downside. Over here there was also a very clear bottom, though. Bottom, and then it scooped up a little bit lower than that. Over here there was very clear bottom, and then it just dropped down. Pretty big fat move towards downside, but it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. These moves could have as well gone something like this up here and then zigzag, but maybe it was just holding too well up here towards upside over here, something like this over here, and then move towards downside. But they do look the same, and they have the kind of the same trend line over here as well. Kind of the same trend line over here as well, give or take. This one goes very, very steeply, but it goes something like this up here because of this move up here, something like that. And then there is also this line up here. So all of these 4 coins are not yet out of the accumulation zone on the downside, and they are not out of the they have not started doing the move towards the upside. So I believe that again this time around, just like right before the previous bull market ended, when metaverse coins explode towards the upside, I do believe that Mana, Sand, ApeCoin, NGCoin, all of these metaverse coins are gonna go at the same time, because they do seem to have the same type of charts, and all of these coins, regardless of what's gonna, I think entire sector is gonna go up at the same time. It's really hard to believe that entire metaverse sector is not gonna play out. I mean, and you know what I usually say about good charts and stuff like that. If the chart has some kind of capitulation and it just continues going towards upside, it's a good chart. But the chart that bleeds down, it might be actually bad. All of these kind of continued bleeding down for a while. And right now they are going up a little bit, right? So they don't have this standard, what I would consider a very strong bullish chart like Ethereum or Tron or some other coins, right? They don't have this very strong bottoms that has been created. But I do believe that once we start going, all of these coins, for whatever reason, are gonna play out very, very nicely. I thought it was interesting because it was only yesterday or the day before that I actually noticed the similarities on all of these coins. So it does seem to me that certain sectors have same kind of charts. Now we haven't looked at the DXY in a while, and the DXY, this move up here is actually a very bullish move. It does look like it does this, up here that wants to go again towards the upside. up here just by looking at, you know, chart up here, consolidation up here, goes up here, goes, you know, taps the bottom again and wants to go towards upside up here again. But I'm a little bit unsure. Now on the bigger time frames, let's just pull some moving averages up here. It is hitting the resistance levels up here at the top right now. 10-20 moving average. Also this bullish engulfing candle failed to break above the 10 moving average. It was slowly moving up there. And this move up here right now, it's getting very strongly into this resistance area up here at the top. If it does manage to break towards the upside up here, that might mean that, you know, Bitcoin and everything else is gonna have a little bit harder time. On the other hand, if it starts, you know, up here and starts breaking towards the downside, we just might see that bigger move towards the downside eventually over here. Because over here it went something like this towards downside, broke that, went back inside up here, tried to go up here again, and if it breaks again towards downside, you might see a bigger move down, and this bigger move down might actually be the bull run that we are having, right? But whether we are coming right now towards the top up here on the DXY or not, I'm a little bit unsure about that, but it's been going up for a while. Right now sitting at 104, something like that, but it's coming to these resistance levels, right? Let me go to the monthly time frame. I think we can draw a nicer resistance level up here on the monthly time frame, because this stops up here and this other top up here. So this is the resistance level that needs to break. Over here, it already broke. It failed that bearish engulfing candle below the 10 moving average. Went down, failed to get up here again. Right now, going back inside the box. So if it starts getting rejected from this box up here, you just might see this, this bigger move on the DXY towards downside. So again, I don't really care about DXY and how it goes up and down, because I don't believe that it's correlated that strongly with Bitcoin. That said, if it goes down, it might be very, very nice. Very nice. DXY topped out. Laren is in the chat. You want proof? No, man, I'm a little bit unsure, but we are at resistance levels. There is 10 moving average, 20 moving average up here. There's resistance level. This move up here, kind of failed. Right, bearish engulfing candle below the resistance, bearish engulfing candle below the 10 moving average, went below even the bottom down here right now, trying to come up here again towards upside. So I'm thinking that this is most likely gonna get broken towards downside. I'm just saying that there is probability to go up, but not that strong. I think it's more likely to go down, especially considering that Bitcoin is gonna top out in 2025. So there is that. But it looks okay so far that this might actually continue towards downside. We'll see. And the thing that we haven't been looking at for a very, very long time is the stock market. This is Nasdaq just pumping towards upside, and we can just look at here on monthly time frame. There is no divergence on the monthly time frame up here towards upside. The momentum is still going towards upside. This is actually a very, very strong move up towards upsides. So just by looking on the indicators, it doesn't seem that there is any problems with the chart. This is Dow Jones, no divergence on the top. There momentum is going towards upside. It pulled back to 50 levels. This is just going to continue going towards upside, it seems to me. Also the stock market, there is no divergence up here. Momentum also climbing towards upside up here very nicely. This also very strong move towards upside. There are no overextensions on the charts, or big overextensions, so you can definitely continue more higher. So the way I see it, stock market, Dow Jones, everything else looks very, very good, and it actually might go even higher than it is right now. I haven't actually drawn a lot of lines on the charts. I haven't drawn a lot of lines on the charts, stuff like that, but it does look good. It does look good, and just by looking at indicators, there are no divergences or anything like that. There is no indication of weakness on the charts. This is a little bit overextended, but nothing like this up here. I mean, you can see when you hit these kind of overextensions, it can just continue pumping towards the upside. Maybe it's just gonna continue going like this up here towards the upside, and then to zigzag and then dump again towards the upside. I don't know, but right now it seems that it's gonna continue going towards the upside. So this looks very good for American stocks. Unfortunately, Chinese stocks are doing very, very badly. Chinese stocks went down something like this is on the monthly time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame up here. I mean, it's been just bleeding so heavily. This is a waterfall move towards downside. These are Chinese stocks, and Chinese stocks on the other hand are just down like you know what, like last month it went down 18%, totally right. It's down like 30% in the last 2 months. Milan Petro 20 months. Check the group. I'll check the group. So Chinese stock market is experiencing very hard turbulence. I got a couple of Chinese friends, so they are telling me that Chinese economy in general is very, very bad. Although I believe that, you know, regular people might experience as bad. The GPT is up like 4% so far. So there is that. So maybe the reason why, you know, American stocks are doing well might be because, you know, people are, you know, selling Chinese stocks and going into American stocks. Might be that, you know. So resistance levels are big resistance level up here at these stops up here at 107. Right now we are, you know, went up there, failed that, retest that, right now retesting again, and there is a channel up here. Right now we retest that midline. So after the midline we go towards downside and drop down. It is nice line. I'm not really a fan of the midline, but you know, this line up here and these bottoms are very, very nice. So might be the case. You're hitting on the dollar, which is good, which is very, very good. It looks nice. Might be the case. Might be very good the case. I'm just basing, you know, I don't watch the DXY that much, but I'm just basing, you know, this move towards upside. That this, you know, zigzagging above these moving averages, but it's hitting this big box up here. And the biggest reason why I think it might actually move down over here is because of the monthly time frame where it had this bearish engulfing candle back below the support levels over here, and then just dropped down like a brick. This over here is a very, very bearish move. So I'm thinking that this move towards upside is gonna fail and go down below the support level over here, and then, you know, this is a big drop. This is a big drop. So, and if you look at, you know, when Bitcoin is gonna have the halving and stuff like that, right? On this chart, April there, right? And then March 25 is the bull market top. So if it, you know, tops up here and then it goes towards down a little bit up here, and then drops through the support level big time towards downside, right? This is the Bitcoin chart over here right now. Something like this, and then over here, and then goes towards upside, right? There we go, guys. There we go. That's the chart. DXY down, Bitcoin up. Pampu. Amen. Amen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I don't know. That's all of the things I want to talk about. I don't know if I want to talk about anything else. I mean, just say one thing. We talked about Monero. We talked about Chinese stocks. They're down to like 30%. We talked about, you know, the stock market. It looks actually very, very good. I think it's going to continue going towards the upside. The NEO chart is up at 6.03, but, you know, not talking about NEO right now. We're going to wait a little bit. And I don't know, guys. I got to tell you, I am bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on altcoins. I'm bullish on everything. I'm so bullish, it's insane. Just remember, this up until halving time, you got 70 days until halving. 70 days. It's gonna go quick, guys. It's 2 months. 2 months and 10 days. 2 months and 8 days. It's so fast. It goes like this. It's gone. And once that's done, once the halving is done, there is not gonna be a soul left that's gonna be bearish. I mean, there are gonna be 2 souls like Capo and Crypto Save, but besides those 2 souls, everybody and their grandma is gonna be so bullish. And once Bitcoin breaks the 69K, it's gonna be beautiful. But remember, above 69K is the suckers move. You know, it's the retail move. It's the liquidity grab move. It's the exit liquidity move. It's the final FOMO move. It's the part after all-time high. That's where you wanna be in it before we break all-time high. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna go do stuff. I got stuff to do, believe it or not. And I'll see you around. Thank you for stopping on Bitcoin Daily. Enjoy the show. And TF Fans Club members, thanks for saying hello. Mladen, thanks for stopping by. Robert, Deburin, what's up? We haven't looked at Can't wait for the fireworks on BTC over 69. Oh, that's gonna be... Robert, I mean, once Bitcoin breaks 69k, I remembered it very well, like it was yesterday. I mean, when Bitcoin broke 20k up here, right up here, that was all time. I mean, it took a couple of weeks, and once it started breaking towards the upside, I don't think people believed. I think people were a little bit in disbelief that it's gonna go right now. It was kind of, nah, it's not the time, it's breaking, but you know, it's pumping, like, and people are like, what's gonna happen? And you know, they were a little bit in disbelief because it didn't. A lot of people thought that this is just gonna, you know, it's gonna do zigzag and then go towards the upside, right? But there is no zigzag. It's already pumping, it's already going, it's already bullish. And I'm getting this kind of same feeling over here. People are still believing that it's gonna go down for whatever reason, right? But I think it's already over. It's already pumping. It's already bullish. It's already going. Remember that. Bye-bye, guys. I'll see you around. Thanks for stopping by. My outro.